The 3 US troops were killed by an unmanned drone at a small military outpost in Jordan near the Syrian border. The killings could significantly escalate an already volatile military situation in the Middle East. And our correspondent Jonathan Rugman is here with us. Jonathan, what is the latest?
Well, American officials are saying that this drone appeared to come from Syria across the Jordanian border. As you say, 3 American soldiers killed, 25 injured. President Biden has issued a statement saying America's heart is heavy, very clearly laying out the blame, accusing radical militants backed by Iran and saying we will hold all those responsible to account at a time and in a manner of our choosing. So I think we can expect a military response pretty quickly. If you look at the map here, you can see where we're talking about. The name of this American military outpost is called Tower 22. It's a patrol and operations base right up by the Jordan's border with Syria. The Americans reckon there have been about 180 attempts to kill American soldiers by these Iranian-backed groups since the October the 7th attacks on Israel. And you may remember that back in October, President Biden wrote to Ayatollah Khamenei and said, stop it, stop doing this, we will respond. He hasn't done that, or at least the militias backed by the Iranians have not stopped. There was an attack on Christmas Day on American troops in Iraq. And so I think President Biden is now under enormous pressure to respond.
So you think there'll be a military response to you from the US? And how will all this go down in the United States?
Well, Qasem Soleimani, you remember he was the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, sort of Foreign Legion, if you like. He was assassinated on the orders of President Trump with a drone in Iraq in 2020 for doing less than what we've just seen happen in the last 24 hours. Yes, it feeds into American election politics. President Trump, if he is the Republican nominee, will make being tough on Iran a central pillar of his foreign policy. And so Joe Biden is under enormous pressure to show that he can be tough when he needs to be tough in an election year. And of course, it also puts pressure on these talks that apparently took place in Paris today about a possible ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, because the Iranians are saying, as are the Houthis in Yemen, who've been attacking shipping in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, stop the conflict, stop the killing, and the likelihood of an escalation or de-escalation is likely to increase.
OK. Jonathan Rugman, thanks very much for that update on that breaking story. Thank you. Now, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has begged member states to continue giving financial support to its aid agency in Gaza after several nations, including the UK and USA, withdrew funding over claims that 12 staff were involved in the Hamas attacks on October 7th. In Gaza itself, Palestinians continue to stream out of Khan Yunis, where the Israeli army is involved in intense fighting. Thousands have arrived in Rafah, where people are sleeping on the streets and in camps flooded with sewage.